guys, so this is kind of I'm not going to rename the videos or anything, but we're going to go pretty aggressive starting today. So we're going to be anywhere from 1,600 to 1,700 calories. And then we were going to just go with it and just kind of see how we do with around that range. I expect me to lose a little bit of muscle, not too much, but I just want to start going aggressive and getting the rest of this fat off, and just let's just get it off, get it done with, get it over with. But I'm still not sleeping the best either, so I'm trying to stay positive. My sleep is just so trash, and it doesn't matter if I go lay down at 8:30 and got to be up at 7 p.m. Like, I'm waking up so much to use the bathroom because of the flare-ups on my bladder and all that stuff, and sleep is just not locked in right now, and it's definitely affecting the strength. It's definitely affecting the recovery. It's kind of affecting everything right now. So really got to try to figure out how I can get this sleep better, and hopefully when I go to the doctor and and all that stuff, they'll be able maybe to give me more medicine to help my bladder calm down at night, where I don't have to get up and go to the bathroom so much, because I'm waking up. My app said I woke up about 10 times last night, and that was all to go pee. And it's like a little bit, and it's like not a whole lot even comes out. It's like some comes out, and then it's like, okay, the urge is gone, so I'm gonna go back and lay down, fall back to sleep, and then on top of it, nightmares. But I got to get that locked in. But on the positive notes, we're still doing good. We're still on track. We're still hitting the gym consistently. Everything's still going pretty good, right? So the only thing is just sleep is suffering right now, but hopefully we'll fix that. I also been on a World of Warcraft Classic. Is got me addicted again. So I've been playing that a lot, and I got to level 60 last night on my Blood Elf Padawan, and so now I'm just gonna start getting the professions all caught up and just make as much gold as I can before the TPC or TBC Classic Plus, whatever they're calling it, anniversary drops on February 5th, and then we'll be leveling to 70. I like playing as a protection paladin and tanking. That's what I love doing. When I first started playing World of Warcraft back in 2004, so when I was like 14? I think I was 14. Yeah. I used to play as an undead rogue. And then when TBC came out, I switched to Blood Elf Padawan, and I've always played a Padawan since. I just like tanking, and I like being I don't know, that was gonna sound kind of weird, taking on a bunch of like dudes, but I don't know, taking on tons of monsters and just being like all, just all tanky. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I don't know. Let's just forget what I was just saying right there. But today's leg day. So pretty much leg extensions, leg curls, call it good. I'm not going to do any pressing today. I just, I don't know. I really don't, I think in a cut, I think you just really need to work on leg curls and leg extensions. You can do pressing, but honestly, I mean, if you could do some squatting too, that would probably work well. But squats are just so taxing and just like so hard of a workout that and risk of injury and all that. I'd rather stick to dieting when I'm dieting down to just leg extensions and leg curls. And even if you're on a bulk, leg extension and leg curls, you're going to build massive legs. Like if you look at my legs and you go back and look at all my workouts, that's how I built my legs, right? Calves, I've been blessed genetically with calves. So I can't sit there and tell you guys, you want calves like me? Do these workouts. I don't even hardly work out my calves. I have massive calves, and I've always had them. Like when I played football back in middle school and stuff, my calves were always just huge, and people would always like, dude, and my legs too. Honestly, I've been blessed with genetically good legs. My legs were always kind of bigger too, like muscular, and I used to skateboard when I was a kid, and my calves were just like, my calves just blew up. Especially when I would skateboard, and I think that kind of hurt me more on the skateboarding side of things though, having such big legs. But I was also a chunky kid, right? I wasn't no like little skinny kid. I'm pretty chunky, and played sports, played baseball, played football, didn't play basketball, and so it was like my calves were just always massive. I don't know. My brother has massive calves and big legs. my grandpa did, so it just kind of runs in the family. And so I've been kind of blessed with that. My dad has pretty big calves too. It's kind of funny because like that's the only real muscle he has on his body is his calves. But anyways, so we could do some calf, I don't know, thought maybe do calf. If there is a calf workout though to like grow your calves, you want to hit it like probably 3 times a week. Standing calf raises, those do really well. None of the seated bull crap. Do the standing ones, hit them like 3 times a week. The calf is such a crazy muscle that's so stubborn to grow that you have to hit them hard consistently to get them to grow. And so a lot of people just don't want to do it, don't want to put in the work, and so they don't. So it's either, you know what I mean, it's just the more you put in it, the more you're going to get out of it. And Rich Piana said it best. With bodybuilding and a lot of things in life, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it, right? So if I go work DoorDash, Uber, Walmart Spark, and I sit there for 16 hours a day, putting a lot of work into it, hitting every delivery I can, I might average $300 a day, right? But if you don't, and you just kind of sit around declining orders and you're kind of just being lazy, you're not going to make as much money, right? And so that goes with like working out, dieting. If you're not putting full effort into dieting, you're not putting your full effort into working out, then you're not going to get the same results that you would get if you put all in, right? And a lot of people will say, well, it's, this person, I would look like that person if I took steroids or if I took TRT. And it's like, no, you wouldn't, because you're only putting in half the work. Like, you got to put in the work still when you're on those compounds. Like, you still got to be strict on your diet. You got to still be locked in on lifting. You got to be locked in on sleep. You got to be locked in on everything. You're not gonna take steroids and magically look like Sam Sulek in 2 years. You know what I mean? Or even a year. And it's like, you take that stuff, it's going to probably take you 5-6 years to look like Sam Sulek, but you also have to be completely locked in like he is. Same with like, a lot of the people. And 2, you might still not look like him because of genetics. There's so much that goes into it. And the more you put in, the more you get out of it. So if you want to lock in and just do it. Like, you want to look a certain way, just lock in and do it. Once you start locking in and you just like consistently get into it, you just get into this flow state where it's just like, it's just normal. It just becomes your normal. And people, like, you'll have friends who are like, hey, let's go hang out, let's do this and go do that. And you're just like, sorry, man, I got to hit legs, I got to do this, I got to do that. And they're not going to understand it because they don't have the same goals as you. So try to like align yourself with people that have kind of the same goals as you as well, because then it just makes it easier to stay locked in. A lot of people I have friends and talk to still, or a lot of them are in the gym community, or they're locked in on like the dieting down, they're locked in on a lot of this kind of stuff, so they understand it. So if they're like, hey, let's go do something, and I'm like, hey man, I can't, like, I gotta go hit arms, I gotta record, I'm doing all this stuff, they understand it, right? But if you have someone who wants to party all the time, or wants to like go do a bunch of stuff and go to concerts and all this, you got that type of friend who doesn't really understand when you're like locked in, and you're just like, no, I'm locked in. They're just not going to understand it, they're not going to get it, and they're going to try to pressure you to not go to the gym. Oh man, you can just miss one workout. Like, come on, just one workout, miss it, come hang out. Yeah, maybe that's not a big deal, it's just one workout. But then you miss one workout, and then they encourage you to miss another, then they encourage you to miss another one, and you kind of just give in at that point. So it's like, just be really cautious. Anyways, let's get in there and get started with this leg day. So I'm going to warm up with hip ductor workouts and the booty builder. It takes me about 20 minutes to get warmed up before we even really start hitting legs. Then 6 hard sets on leg extensions, 6 hard sets on leg curls, and pretty much done. So let's get in there and get started. Alright guys, pretty good freaking leg day. I'm not gonna wait 30 minutes for the booty builder. So I did do some more hip adductors, just not on the booty builder. So you wanna do those to help like build around your hips. Like I can't remember, like it just helps the muscles around your hips and stuff for squats. That muscle that the hip abductor hits, I don't know. I'm kind of a potato right now because of the lack of sleep. But anyways, let's check how the legs are looking. They feel pretty pumped, especially my hamstrings right now. Look, they feel so pumped. Legs looking pretty good and pumped as well. Like I said, more muscle in the left leg versus the right leg. Why I'm starting to hit one-legged leg extensions is to help with that. All right, let's check how his hamstrings are looking. Look at those. Durr. You see the calves too? Look at the calves, the hamstrings. We did hit a little bit of calves today too, but look at that. Looking good, feeling good. Let's see if this leg has, this leg looks a little different, right? More muscle. This one's more defined. Huh, that's interesting. Well, good freaking lift. Now it's time to hit the sauna. Then after the sauna, go eat protein, chill, play World of Warcraft for the rest of the day. Maybe try to take some naps if I can. And then do it all over again tomorrow. So tomorrow would be chest. Chest does feel ready to go. I'm gonna wait and see how I feel tomorrow though, to see if we just do a cardio day and kind of take a rest day. Well, because we're gonna have to throw in more rest days because I'm only going to, today I'll probably go to 1,500 or 1,600 calories. Tomorrow, probably 16 again. And then the next day, maybe 17 or 18, then back down to 15, 16. I'm gonna like do my aggressive cut that way. I'm just gonna juggle between 15 and 1,700 calories and see what our results are. Hit as much cardio as I can, and then try to get more steps in when I'm at work. I think I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm just gonna hit a building patrol, and then try to move more and just keep those calories kind of lower, and we'll see if we can start shredding more fat quicker. When you do aggressive though, you gotta be careful because you can only lose so much body fat at a time before your body attacks the muscle. I don't know the exact math and the exact like numbers. I just know that your body can only lose so much fat so quickly. I don't know the reason why, the science behind it, but a lot of research I've been doing is like if you lose 20 pounds in a month, that's not gonna be all fat because you can't lose 20 pounds of fat in a month. It's gonna be mostly, it will be like maybe 8 to 10 pounds of fat, and then the rest will be water loss, glycogen, that kind of stuff, and then maybe like 0.5 of a pound might be some muscle. So just be really cautious when you're going too aggressive. That is the reason why I don't like fasting for long periods of time. Like you'll see people that are like, oh, I'm gonna fast for like a week, or I'm gonna fast for 4 days. The reason why I don't like that, I mean, it does make you feel pretty good mentally and physically because you start losing muscle. So I watched this guy on TikTok who did nothing but fasting for like 30 days to 60 days or something like that. Dude lost a lot of fat, but he became skinny fat and lost all his muscle. And I was like, and he's like, well, I'll just get my muscle back. But then he had a hard time getting his muscle back, and he still had some fat on him. So just be cautious doing the whole fasting thing. I mean, you can do like where you fast for 16 hours a day, where it's like you skip breakfast, then you have lunch, then another meal, and then you have your dinner by like 6 or 8 p.m. and then you fast all the way back until noon again. That is not gonna help you lose more fat in the way of like, because you're fasting, that's gonna help you lose more fat because it helps you stay in a calorie deficit, because it's like, okay, I take food away for the morning and I save my calories for later. So then if I was to have that breakfast and then and then my lunch and my dinner, and all of a sudden I get hungry before bed, it kind of shifts things where it's like, if you're not that hungry in the morning, but you're more hungry at night, then you won't necessarily feel that hunger at night because you saved your food for later and you had more food later, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, if you fast for 16 hours of that day and you still go over your calorie limit, you're not gonna lose fat. You gotta stay in that calorie deficit. And same goes if you have PCOS, anything like that. It just makes it harder if you have PCOS, but calories in versus calories out, still the same thing. But pretty good lift, legs feel good, calves feel good. So now I'm gonna go hit the sauna, and then I might come back later for cardio too if I feel up to it. Just depends if my legs are like, they're not too bad, we can go. And yeah, go play some games. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.